I think one thing that helped was we identified early on somebody who was very good at motivating others to volunteer. And it started with Jack can get anybody to a table to talk about problems, so he picked some of us and got us to the table. And then we identified a person who it seems to know many people in Red Wing. And one experience I think we all had was the sense that people want to help and people do care and want to be engaged, but they don't know how. And so if you provide the venue, people came in droves. I think in the first year we had like 250 volunteers. And that was just shocking to us. We're a little clinic that's open 4 hours a week. And boy, did people show up, and they've continued to do that. So we've not had a problem finding volunteers.
I just think that there is a strong group of people who want to make changes in Red Wing that benefit all the people who live here, whether that's about housing, decent and affordable housing, or whether it's about the food shelf. We have a real active food shelf. That's all volunteers. They're just people who, when they think that what they do will make a difference, are willing to give their time and their money. So
I think from the experience of having been raised here and living in other places and then coming back here, I think there's a legacy in this small town of two important components of giving. One has been that we've had some really fiscally generous benefactors in this town, and that's been true for over 100 years. That the people who own Red Wing Shoe couldn't be more generous in our town, and there's many people who are like that. And then secondly, I think there's a long line of courageous people who stood up and talked about social justice from the time that I was little. There's been community leaders who just set the tone and others follow, and it continues forward. And I've lived in little towns and other places where that's not true, but that's always been true from the time I was little.